Hello, good evening and welcome to the first In the Know of the National Hunt season. My name is Ross Brierley. It's Friday night and the feeling's right, that's for sure. 17th of November it is. We are already one day down into a 3-day meeting at Cheltenham, of course, and we've still got the Saturday and Sunday to go. And is there a better sight in winter racing than handicap chasers rattling around that 2.5 mile track, especially with the quality of the Paddy Power Gold Cup lineup tomorrow, with a cracking lineup of Grade 1 quality horses lumping big weights in the big race. It's not just that, of course, so we might see a Triumph Hurdle contender. Edwardstone takes on Unjombon this weekend as well. Of course, we've got the Greatwood, a big field handicap hurdle. You name it, we've got it for our first jumps preview of the season, and there's going to be loads more to come, of course. We're pretty much with you every week up until Christmas, so put it in your calendar. Friday night 6 till 7 for the next 6 weeks or so, and hopefully a few winners as well, because that's what we need. And we had some impressive performances at Cheltenham today, and hopefully we can pick out one or two more. We are live and interactive as ever. Good evening to, who have we got? Daniel Valentine, Jamie Kimmy and Genghis26, the first three off the chat box as we speak. So get involved, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's introduce you to tonight's panel. The one, the only, the incredible, the wonderful Mr. Robbie Wilders.
Wow, I thought you were going to Tom first.
There you go.
That was a little surprise for me there.
Yeah, I thought I'd have to pick you up, mate. We haven't been on here for a while.
No, it's been a few months.
Yeah?
Obviously, other stuff on. A bit cold in the studio today.
Yeah.
But I think the hairs on my arms are standing up a bit. I need to start wrapping up. But
yeah.
Good to be here.
You're dressed for the Chester Main meeting rather than...
Yeah, very much so. I always leave an emergency polo shirt in the office because we have to wear collars on this show nowadays.
Yeah.
You just rock up in a t-shirt, hoodie or whatever, but smarter now. So,
that is true. Yeah, well, thanks, mate. I appreciate you making the effort.
My pleasure, mate.
And it's usually my facial hair that's been getting a bit of a mockery over the past few months.
Do you know
but I'm sure people have a go at yours as well.
But, well, let them have a go. I've not shaved in a month, mate. So,
yeah?
Yeah, it's just been... I could do with a fresh skin fade as well, but that's one for another day.
Cheltenham, are you back in jumps mode yet?
Yeah, big time. I was just thinking earlier, we had the Bahrain Trophy on. I didn't even look at the field. I was so invested in the jumps.
Yeah.
I'm very much all in on jumps now. Yourself?
I think this is the weekend where my brain starts to gradually switch over.
Yeah.
I feel because it's. I mean, these 3 days are. You get your sighters, don't you? You get your tasters.
Of course. Yeah.
Over the last few weeks, and to be fair, the weather's kind of scuppered us a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. Sure.
So it looks. I'm after this weekend. I'm completely.
Wow.
Switched into winter mode.
Exciting times.
It is exciting times. And Robbie thought I was bigging up Tom Segal, but the all right, the fine, the not so bad, the incredible, the wonderful, you name it, Tom Segal. Go into the thesaurus, look up incomparable, and then your face is there.
Blimmin' freezing here, Rob. God, got my coat on and everything. Not like you boys in the studio.
Yeah, not just any coat as well. That's Calvin Klein, that bit of kit there.
Proper.
Wow.
You see, when you get to my level, Rob, you can afford Calvin Klein
I dream
stuff.
of being there.
Are you two? Yeah, I feel like you not only previewing different races in different time zones in different countries. Are you all right? Is it cold in yours, Tom?
Freezing, yeah.
You've not got the heating on?
Not in my little office, no. Should have.
No, that's fine. But don't worry, Tom, because the action will heat you up over the weekend. Am I right?
Yeah.
Sounds awfully enthusiastic.
Yeah. Are you in jumps mode yet, Tom?
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't really. I just watch good races, whatever they are. So if during the summer, I'll watch the good jumps races from Market Raisin and Ireland and places like that, and then I don't really switch on and off per se. I think because I don't have to look at the lower quality stuff, Ross. I don't really, I can just concentrate on the good stuff. So whether it's winter, summer, whatever, I'll be looking at the good races, and there's plenty of good races, Galway and Market Raisin and Utoxeter and places like that I'll have a look at over jumps anyway. So yeah, I mean, I'm fully in both modes. I've had a look at the all weather tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe it's just me. Then it does take a bit of sort of by the time the middle of the flat season, I know I'm watching replays. I know what I'm looking for. That's a good performance. Oh, that's run well against the bias, whatever it is. But once we start to get your Cheltenhams and your Aintrees and your Kemptons and your Sandowns over jumps, my brain just takes a little bit of, of course, they don't come from the back over this trip or whatever it is. It just takes a bit of.
Yeah, it's a very different discipline, isn't it? Obviously, because there's the minutiae that you can use on the flat doesn't sort of sort of transfer itself to the jumps. So it's all about rhythm and position and getting in a right slot and things like that, which I find you can't really predict that anyway. So I find with the jumps you need a bit of luck. You just need to get your jockeys are vitally more important, I think, over jumps. You need to get in a good position, good rhythm, get jumping. Any horse can win any race. I think tomorrow's Paddy Power's absolutely fantastic race. I went through it with a fine tooth comb, as I would do most races, and I couldn't rule out anything. I literally couldn't rule. Maybe Black Jerry I didn't fancy. That'll probably go and win now. I thought everything else. I thought it was one of the most high quality and best handicap chases for many a year. Better than all those handicaps at the Cheltenham Festival. I thought it was really top class race, and really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you look at those races, and the old cliche is a Group 1 or a Grade. Is there a graded horse in a handicap lurking? I mean, you've got two of the Cheltenham Festival Grade 1 winning novices running in this race for their seasonal reappearance. So you've already got, you've got two, maybe three, maybe four Grade 1 horses in genuine quality. And that's what you want to see in these races, isn't it? You want to see those horses who've proven themselves. Everyone says, why don't good horses run in handicaps anymore? Well, bloody hell, we've got that tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's what the Hennessy used to be like. The Coral Gold Cup. Sorry, David Stevens. I do apologise. The Coral Gold Cup used to be like that. I'm hoping it will be like that again. I think we're going to get it with Ahoy Senor in a couple of weeks and a few others up the top. Proper Grade 1 horses. So maybe things are changing a bit. Maybe they're realising that they can't beat Willie Mullins and Gordon Elliott when it comes to Cheltenham. You've got to get these wins in the bag when you can, because it will get tougher when the season goes on.
It will indeed. There we go. Speaking of David Stevens, let's have a look at him. I haven't seen him in a while. There we go. How are you doing, David? You all right?
Collar, so I'm disregarding the dress code that I didn't get. But good evening, gents. Great to be here. Yeah, this is for me. I know the jump season has many starts, but this is the proper start. It's full on now. And a reminder of jump racing. Half an hour today at Cheltenham. Team Tizard failed everything. Triple Trade winning. And then JPR won with the Arkle trial at his mercy. Just not even fall. It was just a stumble. I mean, he jumped beautifully to that point. So that was painful for the team. But as Joe said afterwards, they know now they've got a proper horse. And I'm sure that they'll soon find a little opportunity for him maybe to get his confidence back. So that was Cheltenham today. Agree with everything you've said about tomorrow's feature. The Paddy Power looks fantastic. Yeah, this is it's tricky. This jump racing, it's very different. We don't have Tom anymore, just disregarding the 6 furlong sprint and then giving us the winner. He now goes through races with a fine tooth comb, so this is very exciting. But look, as always, we've got a price boost to kick off the show, and it is in the first race that we'll be looking at very shortly. It's in the JP McManus colours. It's Milan Tino, which is around 11 to 8, 6 to 4, I think. But for the duration of this live show, 2 to 1. For a max 20 quid. That's our price boost. Milan Tino in the Triumph Hurdle trial we're going to look at very shortly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stevens. And you could say, given how you dress, that nothing compares to that price boost. I don't know if you got the dress code that you're Sinead O'Connor for the evening, but you look wonderful. It looks fantastic. So we'll get stuck into Cheltenham then on Saturday in just a second. But first, we've got this. Let's have a look at Saturday's card at Cheltenham, starting off with the aforementioned Triumph Hurdle trial. We've already got that price boost for you unleashed. But let's have a look at this 12:35 then, and I would give you the show, but there's a camera tripod right in the way of the prices here.
Let me do the show, mate.
Yeah, you do the show, Robbie. Tell us. Go down
11 to 8 about Melantino. Burdett Road is a 15 to 8 chance. I Still Have Faith 17 to 2. Gifted Angel 10 to 1. Anne Bradan Fisa 11 to 1. Galactic Jack 16 to 1. Eagle Prince 22s and 28 to 1 Barlow's Ross.
That was perfect. Now, in fact, you've got yourself
I've watched
a job.
enough of these shows to know how you guys do that part of it.
Yeah.
The rest of the presenting, that's what I'd find tougher.
No, that's fine. You one piece at a time. We'll get you
just
there.
reading words and prices, isn't it? I think producer Will's rotated the screen enough that this won't be an issue next time, mate.
It's just reading words and prices. I mean, you've cut my job down there, haven't you? I mean,
but you're throwing a few puns and that. I'll admit, you have to prepare those. They're not just all off the
You have
cuff,
to prepare the puns. Yeah,
it takes time, mate.
It does. Thanks, mate. You dragged it back there. But yeah, Melantino, 11 away favourite then for the Triumph Hurdle trial tomorrow. Now we've got a genuine group class flat horse in the shape of Burdett Road who dotted up over hurdles on his one and only appearance. You've got other horses who are very interesting off the flat as well. A couple for Sid Hosey. Gifted Angel's been rattling in winners left, right and centre. You've got a horse who was impressive over in Ireland that's been sold and joined a new yard. However, Robbie, you've got a JP McManus fly in the ointments who's already proven himself to be a very, very talented horse over in France. And we've seen this time and time again with McManus and Juvenile hurdlers, haven't we?
Absolutely, yeah. I think he's very much the one to beat, to be honest. I think, obviously, Steve-O enhancing Melantino 2 to 1, I think that's a pretty good deal. He comes out £11 clear of Burdett Road on Racing Post ratings on what he's done in France. You just go through that French form, the Grade 2 third. The horse who won that came out and won a Grade 1 and is now a sire, which is quite unusual for a 3-year-old. The second also finished second in that Grade 1, so the form is rock solid. You just feel like you might know a bit too much for a lot of these horses at this stage of their careers. I think it's very interesting he's coming over for this. I like what Burdett Road did on his debut. He jumped pretty well, he's quite keen, but you might expect that first time out. He's obviously a very smart flat horse.
Yep.
It's just almost a shame he didn't stay there. They obviously thought he might have reached his limit on the flat. But James Owen's a trainer I like, and he could be a good horse, but I would prefer Melantino, certainly.
Yeah, the Gredleys like the All Mankind being the obvious example.
Of course they do, yeah.
They like a talented, bold juvenile hurdler.
What's to stop Burdett Road potentially coming back on the flat at some point?
Yeah, fair.
We just don't know. Let's see how he gets on. But yeah, he makes it very, very interesting for sure. For me, I think the market's got it pretty spot on, to be honest.
It's hard to know, isn't it? Because again, they're young horses, Tom. We 2-year-old races on the flat. Suddenly, you give them a test at Cheltenham, and they look like a completely different prospect. Now, the only slight concern I had with the favourite is that he seems to get going quite late over 2 Mile 2 in soft ground over in France. Now, that's certainly going to help him in theory at Cheltenham as a track. You don't want to be fading up that hill. But is there a possibility that something could have kicked and quickened on by then?
A lot will depend on the rain overnight, Ross, I think. I think if the forecast rain arrives and they get the 10 mils and it goes soft, then that definitely puts it towards Melantino. If not, if the conditions are like they are today, I think Burdett Road will win. Can you imagine Melantino being able to win a handicap at Royal Ascot or whatever? No, absolutely no chance whatsoever. Burdett Road I thought he jumped really well. The question is whether he'll be able to settle a bit better. He's a bit keen, wasn't he? And if he's a bit keen again, he won't get home if the rain comes. If he's not, if he improves for that run and settles a bit better, I think he's got I don't know. He's a very good flat horse, isn't he? What's he rated in the hundreds? He must be.
He was rated 101 on his last start at Windsor, and and he was because he was third to Passenger, who could have won the Dante. West Wind Blows is proper top quality. It was a really, really good race, and is there a possibility that he was just keen last time out, Tom, because it was his first run since August, and that's gonna get that buzz out of him?
Yeah, very possible. He wasn't keen on the flat, was he? When he won at Royal Ascot, he settled really nicely. Neil Callum gave him a brilliant ride, didn't he? And he won that handicap very easily. Went a long way clear. I know something closed him down late on, but he was really impressive. I thought he jumped really well. As I say, if it got really testing, that would be a worry, wouldn't it? Because his worst run was probably in the Gordon Stakes. I know it wasn't too bad on the figures, but he did only beat one home. And I think he might struggle to get home if it got really, became a bog there. But I like him. I like him a lot, but Road have liked him. I think he's a lot better than the other flat horses. If the ground is reasonable tomorrow, I think he'll win.
Okay. The interesting one a little bit is a fair old price. If he's still... Is he running? What price is Ellerton in this?
33 to 1.
Is he? All right, cracky. Okay, I mean, fair enough. I thought he was a little bit interested on his French form. Ellerton, he's joined Sid Hosey, which is partly why he's probably such a big price here. But he's had some Cheltenham winners over the past 12 months or so. But running to RPRs in the mid to low 90s over in France, Robbie.
You can see the money coming in for that one, for sure. He's owned by John Romans as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting enough, yeah.
So you've also got other flat raiders. Interestingly, the other Sid Hosey horse has actually been quite well back. Galactic Jack, who's also a fast ground horse on the flat. But yeah, we'll know a hell of a lot more after this, David. But with that price boost, are you keen to take the favourite on just because there's so many unknowns here? Yeah,
I think there's potentially there's deeper opposition than the market suggests here, actually. I mean, I still have faith. Was not as good a flat horse as Burdett Road by any stretch, but he looked good enough winning on hurdles. Debut at Weatherby, Ben Brookhouse's horses are running well. Gifted Angel has left his fat form well behind over hurdles. But of the two at the head of the market, I mean, look, there is a slight also factored into it, the fact that he runs in the JP McManus colours. I wouldn't discard the French form at all, and it could be easily good enough to win this. But I'm with Tom. I'm a massive Burdett Road fan, 101 rated flat horse, going hurdling in itself, quite unusual these days. He did everything, that you'd have expected of his pro. I think it was 4-9 at Huntingdon, but Harry Cobden was glowing in his praise afterwards and was sort of quick to say he's a Triumph Hurdle horse at that early stage of the season. And just in the sort of discrepancy at the prices here, I'd be with Burdett Road, just until we've seen a bit more from Mr. Milantino anyway. But as I say, 2-1 Milantino, maybe that would swing it back the other way. But yeah, Burdett Road for me. But I think it's more than just those front two at the betting.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, Milantino, then for JP McManus, who last won this in 2017. And be interesting to see if any of these take the route of last year's winner and end up running in the Melbourne Cup for a completely different connections under a completely different name. So pick that one out. That's the Triumph Hurdle trial tomorrow at Cheltenham then. Moving on to a very different race indeed. The 110 at Cheltenham first. Chase of the day for the amateur jockeys here. 3 miles and a furlong. Am I? Yeah.
No, we've skipped a race.
Are we not doing the 110?
I thought we were doing the 110.
We are, yeah.
We
okay,
are.
There we go. Oh, no, that's the 220. There we go. Okay. 110. That's all right. That's fine. It's the first jump. It's a while. We're having a few sighters, aren't we?
Do you need help with the prices again? Or?
I don't need help, but I enjoy. I wanted to give you the practice. So rattle through them, Robbie. Let's take it away.
Okay, the favourite 11-2 is Mole Court. T Clippers a 6-1 chance. Rita Return 13-2. Strictly a Dance of 13-2. Man of the People 15-2. Hasker Clermont 10-1. Brampton Bell 11-1. Chambard 12-1, and it's Bigger Bar.
Okay,
that was better, wasn't it? Didn't you think, Ross? A little bit more feeling about that. First one was average.
I mean, that was only the second time I've ever read prices out on a live show, so
well,
I was bound to improve.
Yeah,
but I appreciate that, Tom.
First one was moderate. He didn't put enough into it. You see, got to learn from the pro next to you. He is awesome at reading out prices.
That is true. That is true. I tell you what, just wait. By the King George, we're going to have Robbie doing tic-tac. I tell you.
Wow.
But Mole Court is 11-2 favourites. The Irish Raiders were at the top of the betting here when I looked earlier on today. Tom, Rita Return and Brampton Bell. However, at the Cheltenham Festival, the times when the British trainers really know they've got a bit of an edge over their Irish Raiders is generally in the handicap chasers. So you've got. I think the money's come for the British trainers here a little bit. Mole Court just keeps on winning. Strictly a Dancer's got lovely course form as well. Chambard's from a yard who, quite frankly, I think if Anisha Williams trained us for a couple of weeks, we might win a few races, given how her horses are going. This, as ever, looks wide open, Tom.
Yeah, it was impossible, isn't it? 20 runners? Could be very soft ground. Round Cheltenham, amateur jockeys. Blimey, couldn't think of many more factors if you could throw with me there to make me think I don't want to bet in this. But Molecourt's quite rightly at the head of the market, probably, isn't he? I mean, I thought he was impressive the other day. The only thing is the ground will be very different if the rain comes, and that'll put a totally different complexion on the race. He's obviously a little bit up in the weights, so I'd be quite keen to take him on. T. Clipper, I thought, would run really well, but he didn't win that often. Tony Martin special in Road to Return, but plenty you could. Strictly a Dancer, I thought, would run well. I'm just slightly concerned whether he'll really, truly get home. I know he's won over the trip before, but if it got into a slog, I wasn't sure. So I thought Man of the People would run really well for Fergal O'Brien. Cheap pieces on, good form last year in novice chases, won especially at Chepstow. Can't remember the horse he beat, but it was really good. And at a huge price, right down the bottom for Philip Rothwell. I'll call it Gallon, because I can't pronounce the rest of it. Number 19. He's got some decent form onto his name. It was a completely throw-out run last time. He'll like it if the ground gets soft. He doesn't win very often. He's another one that finds it hard to win, but I could see him running into the frame at it's about 33-1. So they would be my two, but it's an impossible race.
Yeah, and like you said, the rain could put a bit of a spanner in the works, because horses like T Clipper, they travel really well, they run well. He never runs a bad race, T Clipper, but at the bottom of the hill that something's going to outstay him.
Yeah, like as he got the fight completely. I mean, I was quite interested in T Clipper. It looks like he's shortened quite a bit actually since yesterday. I think Will Bidditt's quite an eye-catching jockey. I mean, jockeys are obviously a big thing in this race. He'd be one of the better amateurs. He is on a good mark, T Clipper. He's down to 136. He was running off the Ultimate off 147 last year. I remember putting him up for the Bet365 Gold Cup. He ran well for a long way in that. He just didn't get home over 3 mile 5. So he's certainly on my short list.
Yeah, the handicapper has. You sometimes look at horses and the handicapper goes, here, have a pound or two back. But it's almost as if he's taken.
He's always been handicapped like he's a veteran when the handicap is very generous and brings him. But he's only 8.
He's only 8 years old. Yeah.
So I completely see the case. Thought Wayfinder was quite interesting. Gina Andrews, she's quite a good rider. He ran well in the equivalent race at the October meeting, third there. First run after wind surgery there. He was only 33-1 that day. Assume he might build on that. I thought Grandad's Cottage, if the ground gets very testing as well for Ollie Murphy, unexposed as a stayer, he needs soft ground. But yeah, it's pretty much impossible. If I was going to have one bet, I would probably go Wayfinder.
Okay.
Whatever the horse's name is. Yeah, Wayfinder.
Wayfinder it is.
Yeah, you make a good point there, Rob. Can I just about Gina Andrews riding? Because she rode Strictly a Dancer last time, didn't she? And so you'd have thought she could have ridden Strictly a Dancer, and she's not. She's on Wayfinder, who's a much bigger price.
Okay, there we go. Other horses in here. Latitude as well. He's a festival horse.
Very good.
Don't have a chance in the Amateur Jockeys Handicap chase then here. Plenty of unexposed horses here going over a bit of a marathon trip with the amateurs. Yeah, Robbie, you like a play spot. You're gonna have to put several in this, aren't you?
I was thinking 4 potentially.
Yeah, it
but
does.
It's just getting the right 4.
It feels like a 4-horse perm in this race, and they finished 6th, 7th, and
it's just 4-horse perms just ruin your potential.
They do.
It's tough, this play spot game. But this is a coral show, so.
Yeah. Anyway, what's going on in this Amateur Jockeys Handicap chase from a betting perspective? Extra places, price boosts, or maybe we're all saying we don't have hugely strong opinions in this kind of race, David. Maybe you're going to surprise us.
Firstly, I can't believe that Robbie thinks your gags are scripted for this show. I mean, that would be.
I've seen him writing them down, Dave. What he does, he goes in the office, he sits about 3 rows back. You don't hear a word from him for an hour and a half. You can just see him smiling to himself. That's what goes on.
It's true. I don't even go on the Racing Post website. I just go on. I just watch Bob Monkhouse routines of 20 years ago. But anyway, David Stevens, what have you got here?
Bob Monkhouse, 2 versions. There's another story. 5 places each way. This is. I mean, we've heard from everyone. This is really, really difficult. I agree with Tom on Man of the People. Shouldn't mind the ground if it gets any softer. And the other one, I thought, if it does pour down, I thought Brampton Bell, form on heavy last time, benefit of a run again. Wouldn't mind that. You said earlier the Irish horses were at the head of the betting. They were when I requested this special, which was an Irish train winner of this. Perhaps doesn't look quite as appealing now, but an Irish train winner, 2-1 from 13-8. But yeah, just a couple, but nothing with any great confidence is Man of the People and Brampton Bell.
Okay, Man of the People and Brampton Bell. Just a quick word for you talking about well handicapped or horses being treated by the handicapper like veterans. I mean, I don't know what the plan is for Captain de Nord, but he's on his way down to a nice mark again,
Christian
isn't he?
Williams will have something up his sleeve for Captain Nord, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He really will. Okay, an Irish trained horse to win the 110 tomorrow, then 2-1 out from 11.08. But tentative, Robbie?
It's a very tentative. I honestly won't be betting in it, but we'll have a play spot, won't we?
Yeah, so Wayfinder's top of the play spot.
Wayfinder's in the play spot, T-Clipper, Grander's Cottage at the moment, I think. That could change, though.
Yeah.
Let's look at the ground tomorrow.
Yeah. Tommy Segal, that's what I'm calling you now.
I like Man of the People a bit for the O'Briens.
Okay.
Family affair there. I thought he'd run well. As I say though, that Galan do something at number 19. I think he'll run well at a big price too.
Yes, Galon de Vauzel, if you prefer, for Philip Rothwell then. Right, but it's Man of the People for Man of the People, Tom Segal. Moving on then to the 145 at Cheltenham for my money, possibly the most fascinating race of Saturday. Because I think this is a really interesting lineup, and I do love a novice chase. I love a novice chase, especially one where you've genuinely got 5 proper contenders going up against each other. Good Risk at All is 7-4. Mr. Coffee 3-1. We've all been caught 9-2. Price has just changed right before there. Sorry, Robbie, I've taken your job here. Broadway Boy 11-2 with Alaphilippe 11-2 as well, and Cloudy Flamingo at 150-1 is you assume there. For quite a baptism of fire for this really hot race, because you've got horses in good nick here in the shape of Good Risk at All, who I know Giovinco came down at Carlisle, but it would have been tight between those two. You've got 2 Twist and Davies horses who obviously ran into the wonderful Flooring Porter last time out. Alaphilippe shaped nicely on his return back from a break, and you've got the endless conundrum that is Mr. Coffee as well, who's definitely got the ability to win this race, and he certainly won't be lucky for stamina.
Third season novice,
which tells you
don't see him too often.
No,
but he has kept pretty good company.
Very much so. And Gaillard de Maynil was getting kind of crabbed last year for being a similar type. But that said, Good Risk at All was a really talented hurdler, and everyone says, what if Giovan could have stood up? But that's the whole point in a novice chase, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, one thing that I thought was interesting, that Sam Twist and Davis is riding him over the 2 Nigel Twist and Davis horses. I'm not sure if there's a particular reason by that, in terms of that he rates that a better choice. But yeah, he was good at Carlisle, wasn't he? I'd be slightly concerned about him at 3 miles potentially. I mean, he wasn't the most resolute stayer over 3 at Overheard. I mean, he ran in that Haydock race. He was well fancied that, didn't get home. Maybe he will. I don't know. I think he's probably getting on the short side now, though. Good Risk all. I put up Alaphilippe at the start of the week. I'm still quite keen on him, to be honest. He obviously ran in that race behind Good Risk at All. Mm-hmm. Thought he shaped pretty well. He was very, very weak in the betting. It was his first run in 600 odd days. We know he likes Cheltenham. He almost won the Pertemps here. He's got plenty of course form.
My only concern with him is he was a bit of a, I guess a plot, or certainly a target for the Pertemps. There's something in the back of my mind that he's going to be.
He might never come back from that.
No, I was going to say that.
For a handicap mark, sort of.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like give him a spin at Carlisle. Give him a spin round here. Finish a good, maybe a half decent third.
He is 9 though. He's going to be 10 in. 6 weeks. So
that's what I mean. But if you've got a 10-year-old novice chaser, are you going to win the Brown Advisory, or you're going to give you a great spin?
What sort of race do you think he might be targeting?
I mean, the Kim Muir or something, maybe.
Kim Muir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting take, to be fair. I just felt maybe he'd be more of a here and now horse, where he's taken on a lot of younger horses.
Yeah.
I thought there was enough encouragement from that, and he's obviously going to be better at 3 miles. But I mean, apart from Cloudy Flamingo, you could see anything winning. So, like you said, really interesting race.
Yeah. I mean, genuinely, Tom, Broadway Boy's a 5-year-old who looked fantastic at Worcester. You've got the 6-year-old We've All Been Caught, who always looked like he's going to be better over fences. You've got the 7-year-old Good Risk at All, who comes into this in good nick. The 8-year-old Mr. Coffee, who's been a novice chaser for 3 seasons, as Robbie said. The 9-year-old Alaphilippe, who might be aimed at a handicap. What do you make of this? Because I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it'd be a good race. I don't think any of them are world beaters. What you would say, though, is 25 grand for the winner. I don't know, it's probably only not that much. The Kim Muir's probably 50 grand. You know what I mean? If Alaphilippe's waiting for the Kim Muir when he's got 47 Gordon Elliott's charging at him, then he's got another thing coming. You might as well win this. If I was the owner of that, I'd want to win this. I mean, I did think he could go well, because if you remember, he was clearly didn't look fit and took a time to warm up at Carlisle. But Good Risk All did win very easily. I did beat him very easily. I think they'll be a lot closer, especially because this trip suits Alaphilippe a lot better. All of it how he jumps. I mean, Mr. Coffee, I thought was, I thought most of the time he jumps park fences like he's got diving boots on. I mean, he's been horrible, but in the Grand National, he was brilliant. He was absolutely winging away, wasn't he? And he was still in front at the last, was he? Or 2 out in the National? That's, if he got into that same sort of rhythm, he could go really well as well. But I think, as you boys have quite rightly said, the first 5 in the market could all, they could all win. So I'd play at the end of it, like Robbie said, and maybe go for Alaphilippe, just on the feeling that Cheltenham, soft ground, stays very well, improving, will improve for that run. So maybe he can get a lot closer to good risk at all, but it's, as you say, really difficult.
Yeah. Okay.
From a betting perspective, I mean, great race, but really difficult from a betting perspective to find any great value.
Yeah, I'm half tempted to ditch the 2 Twist and Davies horses, because I do think, I mean, if Florian Porter's as, well, we know how good Florian Porter is, but he looked very good, and I don't know, I'm not sure there's not a Florian Porter in here, is there? So, Broadway Boy 11-2, we've all been caught 9-2. Yeah, fascinating race this, David.
Impossible looking race, yeah, small field, but absolutely impossible. I'm struck by what Robbie said about why is Sam Twiston-Davies on good risk at all, not one of his dads. You'd have thought he would have had the choice of one of Nigel's first or former. I think it looks impossible. I think the most likely winner is good risk at all. I thought he accounted for Alaphilippe fairly comfortably at Carlisle, and wouldn't be for big money, but I would take a chance it will stay 3 miles. But yeah, as we've said, be no surprise if the first 5 win this.
Okay. Not sure what you said at the end there, David, but up until that point, I was 100% with you, but we just cut out a little bit. But never mind. Good risk at all, 7-4 favourite then for that, then obviously tomorrow. I don't think good risk at all for Martin Williamson. What else have we got here? We've all been caught for Rob Dixon. Alaphilippe is an ultimate horse, he says, as well. And as for the rest, people showing their age, I think, at home on the chat. Dimp says more facial hair on show than the front cover of Herbie Mann's album, Push Push. So...
Any word from Cheese, Ross?
Cheese is on tonight, yeah. He said hello earlier, but he's gone off now.
Oh, that enough already, is he?
No, I think he's just steadily maturing towards the end of the show. But let's go to the big race of Saturday afternoon then. The Paddy Power Gold Cup Handicap Chase. 14 of them running, 90 grand on the table to the winner. And we've got Grade 1 horses in the shape of Stage Star and the Real Whacker, but we've got Unexpected Party, who's possibly an unexpected favourite at 5-1 at the top of the betting. 11-2 Stage Star, the Real Whacker 7-1 with Not Long Till May. Angel's Breath is 8-1. Il Rodotto 9s with Easy As That. 11-1 Fugitive. Bigger prices for Harper's Brook, for Ben Pauling. Torn and Frayed, who's coming off the back of a long absence, but he loves a bit of Cheltenham. Final Orders, who's running all sorts of half-decent races as well. Authorised Art, Whistle in the Dark, and the one horse that Tom doesn't think will win, Black Jerry, the outsider of the lot. So just have a saver on that one, just in case. But Tom, this is quite the lineup. Huge weights to carry for Stage Star and the Real Whacker, of course. But the money coming for Unexpected Party, he's always looked like he's got a good race in him. And being the Skeltons, I feel like people have spent one of their favourite things during the winter is that's going for that race, that's going for that kind of handicap bingo. But he looked good at Chepstow, didn't he? He jumped really well and he just kept on going and going.
Yeah, that's my fault, unfortunately, for those Unexpected Party fans. He's my selection for tomorrow. He was, I think, 7 or 8-1 not that long ago, and 5-1 now. I think that's about the right price. It's exactly my thinking was what you just said there. This is his big day. Unexpected Parties. He won't get. This is the race he's been aimed at. I do like in this, especially if the rain comes. I do like horses that have had a run in this race. If you go back through the years, I think you have to go back to one of Anna Cotti to be the last horse. I mean, that's a long time ago. I'm not even sure Robbie was born. When do you know what I mean? And that's a long time ago. You're talking about horses that are winning this first off the bat. It's a really tough handicap. So I always like horses that have had a run in this race. Obviously, things can change. And Venetia, it doesn't really matter when her horses run. They can win first time up, whatever. But I do think the Real Whacker and Stage Star are so classy. They're going to make it a real test of fitness, because they are going to go. They're classier than the normal horses that run in this race, and they go really, and they're good jumpers. They like to race up with the pace, so they're going to make it a real class test. I've always liked Unexpected Party. I've always thought he was a really classy horse. I loved the way he jumped when he beat Napper's Hill the other day. He was, fifth in the Turners, but actually, I don't know. He was a big price that day. He wasn't really fancied. I think this has been his thing. I do like Not Long Till May as well for the similar reasons. He's had a run, excellent run. According to Racing Post ratings and Top Speed ratings figures, his run in the handicap over 2 miles was better than his Turner's run, which whether you believe that or not, I don't know. But I think he's going to go well. I'm just worried about the top two, Stage Star and the Real Whacker, whether they'll sort of get into a battle a long way out, and therefore with plans with bigger prizes on the for the end of the season. But then you can make cases for loads. Fugitive has got loads of Cheltenham form. Second in the plate, probably a bit unlucky. Il Ridotto's won one of those big handicaps. Easy as that's been well back. Angel's Breath was a super novice chaser for Nicky Henderson. You can make a case for literally all of them. I ended up on Unexpected Party simply because I thought he was the one with the perfect preparation. I thought he was coming. I think this preparation is a big thing for me in these Cheltenham races, and I think for him it's gone perfectly, and that's why I went for him. Whereas the others just wondering whether there's targets later on, or how easy is that jump round Cheltenham? How will even Angel's Breath get over fences? You know what I mean? So there's question marks about them. I don't have those worries about Unexpected Party. I think he's going to run really well. Whether something's a little bit classier than him is possible, but I thought he was just a solid one.
Yeah, has it been because of the weather, Tom? I mean, you're looking at this race: Stage Star, the Real Whacker, Il Ridotto, Fugitive, easy as that. Harper's Brook, Torn and Frayed. There's a lot of horses in it. Like you said, a run has helped in the past, and a lot of these horses, I don't know. I would have expected to have an early season spin somewhere else, but it has been a bit chaotic to the start of the season.
I don't know why. I mean, normally they use some entry races. I mean, the classy ones have used the old road. Maybe it's because of the class factor. I don't know. Harper's Brook's another one in there that I was, he could run well. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't know why. Maybe there's not that many 2.5 mile races are there around at the moment. I don't think there was one at the showcase meeting. Was there for open handicaps? I think there was one for novice handicappers, but I'm not sure there was one there. So apart from that race at Carlisle and the one at a couple at Aintree, I don't think there's that many for them to go for. But normally they've had a run. Garlaw, for example, last year had run in the old road. So had a few of the others that had won the race before. But as you say, there's not that many who've had a run this season.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, Unexpected Party then backed into 5-1 favouritism. Not Long Till May was mentioned by Tom. I mean, keeping up with the 2 milers in that handicap chase, which has worked out nicely today with Triple Trade going on and winning. I mean, that is going to bring Not Long Till May to the boil. And I thought you ran a really good race.
Yeah, I did as well. I mean, he was carrying 12 stone. I mean, Darts on My Own won Red Run, didn't he? That was a Red Run, wasn't it? Yeah, that's a classy experience 2 mile chaser. I mean, he was given Triple Trade. I think it was about 24 pounds. I mean, that horse has won really nicely today. I mean, it's clearly he wouldn't have been trained for that race. He'd been trained to build on that and come here a better horse over a longer trip. All his form was over 2 mile 4 before that, and that's a career best on RPRs. So I don't really see how he finishes out the frame. So for me, he's the each way bet.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, it's because he's getting better and better and better. I mean, last year he improved over a stone for his first run, and he ran 140, 152, 155, 156. Like I said, this feels to me like he's going to peak in this race.
This could be a really good horse. I mean, he was running. He wasn't far off Stage Star at Cheltenham. He hanging left-handed. If he does the hanging again, I'll be a bit worried. But if he keeps straight, then I think 7s is a very fair price. I'm going to throw in Harper's Brook. Maybe controversially, he's a bit of a nutcase. I mean, that race at Sandown last season, he completely threw away. I think Keelan, he's the sort of kind of horse that you need to just produce him really late. He was in front too soon. He completely threw in the towel. But he's the kind of horse I could just see travelling really well and hitting the places at quite a big price. I think his form, his best form is fresh. I know I respect what Tom says about first time out. It's quite a tough ask, but You know, he's running some classy races earlier in his career. He's running in like the dippers and things like that. He's off 136.
Well, he was the one who kicked on in the Ultimate, didn't he, and just went freewheeling out to the lead. And I think 3 from home, he was still in front, quite comfortably in front, and then he just went out like a light. So, is it a possibility he's going to try and do that, but do it over
Possibly,
shorter?
yeah. I mean, as people say, he has his own ideas about the game. People say that quite a lot, and he does. But I think if Keelan Woods can control him, I think there's a decent pot in him. So, play spot, Harper's Brook, not long till May. I'm also going to throw in. I almost put up Ilrodota at the start of the week for Ange Postman.
Okay. Why is that?
I think he's just got a lot of bags of Cheltenham form, and Freddie Gingel's a decent claimer off his back. It's just first time out is also a concern, and the price was a hell of a lot bigger in the week, but I could see him going well.
But he's another one. He's 6 years old. I feel like again he's been running these races for
ages,
years. Yeah.
And you'd like to think. I mean, Nichol's horses wouldn't generally peak at that sort of age. You'd like to think he can, get a bit better. The one horse I think can't win is the Real Whacker. I don't think you win races of 1 to 6-2 like this unless you're. He is top class, but is he top class? I don't know.
Is he top
Exactly,
top class?
He's a top player, but he's not a top player.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's got a right task on his hands.
I mean, if he does, then we're genuinely talking. Talking a Gold Cup horse, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's beaten Jerry Colomb, doesn't he? I don't know. It'd be an amazing story. I just can't see it.
Yeah. I mean, there's amazing stories in here, left, right, and centre, isn't there, David? Like I said, it is an absolute cracker. Are there any other horses you'd like to throw into the mix? I mean, we've got, like I said, we mentioned Venetia Williams. Easy as that is a sort of a classic Venetia runner in this kind of race. She's had, your Gemerons and what was the three-letter chaser? ASO. Yeah, he always used to run really well in these races, didn't he, as well? So, any others you want to throw in?
No, in fact, 4 places each round this. I think it's just worth reiterating. So we've got the 2 Grade 1 novice chasers from the Cheltenham Festival. So credit to them for running. Both coming here, obviously, first time up. The Real Whacker, if he does go and win this, then he's absolutely a Gold Cup horse. But credit to them for running him anyway. Same with Stage Star. I'm very much in the not long till May camp. Not far to find on Stage Star at all from the Turners. Had the benefit of that run over 2 miles at Chepstow that, as we've said, has worked out very well. And I think would be a couple of points shorter if trained by a bigger name. And that's with absolutely no disrespect at all to Connection. So I like Not Long Till May. I also thought Angel's Breath was interesting. 9-year-old now, but really lightly raced still. Clearly has had all sorts of problems over the year, but smart novice chase form going back a few years now and has had a warm-up over hurdles. So they'd be my 2 against the field, but in what is a fascinating and highly interesting Paddy Pab because of the presence of those 2 genuine Grade 1 horses. Yeah,
absolutely. And well, hopefully it will live up to its billing. But Not Long Till May, which as a predominantly flat fan, maybe that's why it's just in the back of my brain. It is a long time till May, Robbie. But I do think that spin last time out will bring him right on. I agree. He's my each-way play. Yeah, are we in agreement?
Absolutely, mate.
There we go.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Let's hope it pays off. Tom Segal, what are you going for?
Forgotten. Unexpected Party.
Okay.
It's my selection.
Yes, and you, like I said, the man of the people earlier on, and it would be an unexpected party if you turned up. And David Stevens?
Not Long Till May with a little savour on Angel's Breath. I should say we do have a Paul Nicholls special here. Paul, of course, has Stage Star and Ilrodota. Both will be absolutely fit without a benefit of a run, I have no doubt. Paul Nicholls to win this Paddy Power, 4-1 from 11-4.
Okay, Scotty Rudderham is all over Ilrodota. He says, come on, Ross, Ilrodota, £5 claim, of course, and distance massive each way play. Cracking race on the agenda tomorrow, maybe. Scotty will be all over that price boost as well. Let's move on then. 3 mile handicap hurdle on the agenda next. 15 of them lining up, and probably should have played back the races with the French commentary on here. Plasnet or Placenet, if you prefer. 4-1 has been quite well backed for David Pipe and Jack Tudor in this handicap hurdle. Judicial Law is 5-1. Buddy 1 11-2. Mocha Devassi 6s. Shamblu 8-1. Chantry House 8-1. 12-1 and bigger the rest in this 3 mile handicap hurdle that again has got an absolutely mind-boggling lineup here. I would have had 500 guesses if you'd Tommy, to name the race that Shamblu, Chantry House, and Buddy One and Judicial Law will turn up in the same one. But a French raider, well backed for the Pipe Stable, who are in very good form, Tom, is very interesting. You've got Buddy One, who was placed at both Cheltenham and Aintree and has run 5 times since, remarkably. And Judicial Law, who ran an absolute cracker here last time out in a race that looks a red-hot handicap hurdle as well. Another good race.
Yeah, I mean, an excellent race. You're spot on again. Really interesting to see how Shamblu and Chantry House run, because they've both got top class staying chase form. I know Nicky Henderson's quite bullish about Chantry House running well, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. As you say, the interesting one, top of the market again, Placenet, whatever you want to call it. Very interesting. It's one of those that I don't think it's slipped through the net, but the Racing Post ratings have boys have him a long way clear, and the official rating makes, obviously on the official handicap hasn't given him a high mark at all. So he could be thrown in. He could be one of those that wins by, is a Stonewell in. I expect him to go really well. David Pipe had the first and third in the staying handicap hurdle already at the meeting. He will no doubt have been planning this. Catco won it for him, a very similar horse not long ago. So not sure I really want to bet without having at least a saver on him, because he could have a stone in hand. Judicial Law, I thought, ran really well last time. He will definitely, if it rains, I think he comes right into it. I think the stronger the test of stamina, the better it is than what he showed last time. Buddy One was third, wasn't he, to Iroko in the Martin Pipe. Won a good race at Galway last time. Good claimer on, could go well. A bit worried about the ground if it got very soft. Up in trip he is as well. Michael Devassy's just a bit slow, but he's definitely handy. Got a bit of form in there in back form that gives him a chance off his current smart. But 2 at a bigger price I thought might run well. If you forget about Shambler and Chantry House, will come on Teddy, who was third in the per temps of 2021. I think he's a couple of pounds lower now. He won after a similar break. He's been off for a long time. But he won a novice chase off a similar break last year, I think, at Utoxeter. So he could bounce back. Tom George had a winner at Doncaster today. He hadn't really been in any great form, but he had a winner today, and another one ran well. So if Come On Teddy's back to his best, he likes Cheltenham, he could go well. And Nigel Twiston Davis' horse, the newest one, he's only won one race, I think, and he's a bit of a slow boat, I think, but he was second to Winch House over hurdles last year, and a horse of Gavin Cromwell's afterwards, and that's both pretty good form. Winch House came out and won a novice handicap at Newbury recently, very easily. I think that's quite good form. They were a long way clear, and he's got a good £7 claimer on, James Turner. Just the sort of horse that Twiston Davis's horse will run well in a race like that. He'll get out in front and see if anyone can come and get past him. Something might. Placenet probably will. But I thought it was a really good race, as you said. You made case for loads. I think Placenet's probably going to win it, though.
Okay, but yeah, 4-1. It's
short enough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But like I said, I mean, of all the yards, they've got previous, haven't they?
Certainly, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't, you could maybe go in a bit more cautiously if it wasn't for happened today. Obviously, the first and third in that first race. Yards going really well. Completely echo what Tom says. Obviously, on RPRs, he's well clear on that French form. It's always hard to weigh up this French form, though. Now the price has gone. I'd have to leave him. Sort of, this race has been a bit of a sort of, the horse have come back and retrieved their reputations to a certain extent in recent years. Sporting John did it a couple of years ago on the blind side, sort of came back from chasing. You've got Chantry House and Shamblu doing that this year. I mean, they could be well handicapped. It's just they're 9 now. How much ability do they retain? The horse I thought was interesting at 16s was Real Steel. This horse, similar profile really. He's been running in chase. He won the Paddy Power Chase last year. But the last time, I know he's with a different trainer now, but the last time he ran at Cheltenham, he ran in the Gold Cup in 2020. He actually was travelling so well, he hit 3.55 in running when he went off 50-1. I mean, he's obviously not that horse now, is he? But he's running off 126. Danny Mullins is over to ride him. He's race fit. He shaped okay, I thought, in the Munster National last time. So he's one I thought could go well. Difficult race as always, though.
Yeah, it is a difficult race. But yeah, like I said, Real Steel, he was quality for Mullins, and then Nichols as well. But yeah, it is absolutely fascinating in this.
I had a quick look at that. Ross, I had a quick look at that Real Steel too. I thought he could run well. Only thing that slightly put me off is the trainer's son's riding the other one, Noble Birth, in the race, and he's ridden Real Steel plenty. Just wondered why that was the case. Danny Mullins is absolutely top class, so it's not a negative in any stretch of the imagination. It just struck me that, trainer's son, they'd want a winner at Cheltenham. Why would they put him on the worst one? Don't know. Might be a conspiracy theory, but I just wondered why he was on Noble Birth and not Real Steel.
Yeah. I think you can start digging yourself into all sorts of.
Yeah, you tie yourself in knots potentially, didn't you?
Yeah.
I just thought that Danny. I mean, if it was like sort of a big name rider who was the trainer's son, then I might give a bit more credence into that. But it's a guess up in it really. But just thought he was interesting.
Yeah. It's easy. Yeah, it's quite easy to get the tinfoil hat out with these kind of horses, isn't it? But yeah, absolutely fascinating. I mean, Chantry House. I mean, he's only 9 years old, and he was, placed in a Supreme Novices hurdle for God's sake, David. So yeah, it's a fascinating race. I mean, I'm looking at Judicial Law at 5-1. How many places are we offering? Are you offering 4 places? Because I'm thinking that's the each-way thievery of the afternoon to my eyes.
4 places each way, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just scribbling down the notes here as the chaps were talking. I'm running out of space here. I mean, that's how tricky and competitive this is. When I first looked at this morning, Plasnet was double the price he is now. But clearly, he's been well found. Could just be different class on his French form. But at the price he is now, I'd have to leave him. I like Mocha de Vassi. Returned to a bit of form last time, has run well at Cheltenham in the past. But I'm with you on Judicial Law now. Because of the money for Plasnet, Judicial Law's got out to a each-way bet for nothing sort of price. Has been in tremendous form, consistent. Has won over the course. Shouldn't mind if there is any more rain. So he would do for me at 5-1. But it's another fiendishly tricky tricky race with the 4 places each way.
Yeah, it is indeed for this 3-mile handicap hurdle. Good luck with your bets in this one. If you're watching, which you are, of course you're watching. If you're not watching, you don't know I'm asking you. But like the stream. There's almost 1,000 of you watching right now, I think. So give us a thumbs up if you are. Plasnet 4-1 then. Judicial Law, I think, a bit of each-way thievery for me personally at 5-1. Plenty of opinions though on the chat. And Rob Dixon, playing it simple, Polish to finish second to the field, given that's what he seems to like to do. Let's rattle through the last couple and then have a quick look at Sunday. And if Judicial Law wins, then maybe we'll get Springwell Bay even shorter here, because John Joe O'Neill Jr. and Gay Smith have a well-fancied horse here in the shape of Springwell Bay. 2-1, Resplendent Grey 3-1, London Office Calling 11-2, Guigname is 6-1 and 8-1, and Bigger the rest. And last seen finishing 6th at Aintree behind Irish Point in that Grade 1 Novices hurdle, which is throwing up winners over fences, over hurdles. You wear it well. Let's be clear about it. Irish Point. It looks a warm race, and Springwell Bay's down into a handicap.
Yeah, it's looking strong, isn't it? I think totally deserves to be favourite, really. He'd probably be the one I'd side with. The sort of one concern would be that he was beaten 2-1 favourite in the Supreme Trial in the October meeting last year, but I mean that was early days for him. It was only his second run over hurdles. I think there's
and he's shaped like a horse who needs this trip.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's all just maybe even 3 miles eventually, but I think this is going to be absolutely fine for him. I think he's the one to beat. I would have been much more interested in Resplendent Grey. He ran well in the Persian War, but Captain Teague has come out and not exactly throwing that form today. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people thought Captain Teague was going to win that race easily. He didn't. I think the handicap might have been a bit harsh, raising him £7, so Springwell Bay would be the one, I'd say.
Okay, Springwell Bay then in a handicap after that big run in Grade 1 company. Tom, is there an angle in against the Fav here?
Well, London Office Calling isn't calling me, I can assure you for that, Ross.
You're telling me, mate. Never see you.
I thought Joe Tizard's horse might run well. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. Can you pronounce it for me?
I went for Guigname, but I'm sure David will put us right.
Guigname. I think he's crying out for a stiffer tested stamina, isn't he? I mean, I know it was to a similar trip last time at Wincanton, but it was much easier track, he's definitely going to come on for that run. The Tizard horses have all been coming on for a run, as we saw with Tiger Trade today, or whatever it was called, Triple Trade. And I thought he'd run well. He was second to a good horse of Paul Nichols's, Oscar's Business, I think it was called. Last time at Wincanton, I think he'll definitely be running on up the hill. I just think a lot going for him. I just couldn't see him finishing out the frame. Springwell Bay just looks. I wouldn't back a horse off 12 stone at 2-1 on their first run of the season ever. Really, that's just not my game. He might be a class above, but that looks plenty short enough for me, especially if the ground really, because I don't know how fit he is. That's the reason why. If he's at his best, it's 2-1's a good price. If he's ready for it, 2-1's a good price. I don't know, and that's the question. John Joe's horses tend to improve as the season goes on, so that would be my worry about him. I thought Gwinyame would do for me each way.
Okay, there you go then. A 6-1 shot. Is that how we're pronouncing it, David?
Well, it could be how you pronounce it. When I asked Joe yesterday, when I spoke to him for the blog, I said, "How are you pronouncing this?" They're calling it they're calling it Janami. So we'll go with Janami for the purposes of this. But yeah, Joe was not bullish, but he said he should improve for that Wincanton run. As you said, that was a really good run. Very different track, obviously, Cheltenham to Wincanton, but quite a small field, cut up, I think, more than they thought it would. And certainly not without a chance, 6-1 each way. I think Springwell Bay is the most likely runner. Just where do you want to be backing him at 2-1? So Janami is what we're going for each way, 3 places.
Okay, there you go. That's for that 3:30.
I preferred yours, boss. I preferred yours, definitely.
Yeah, there's more,
or whatever you called it.
more consonants in mine. So, but okay, that's the 3:30 at Cheltenham. Then let's have a quick look at the bumper to close off proceedings. Or no, we're not doing the bumper. Scratch that. In that
Great
case,
news.
That is great news because
It's not great news. We love bumpers. Why am I the only person in the world that likes bumpers?
Do you?
Go on, give us the winner.
Go on then, give us the winner of the bumper. Give it the sprint handicap Segal treatment to the bumper, please.
Well, I don't know what's going to win, but I think it's fascinating race. Look, they've all got ones by their names. You see proper good horses in bumpers. Why does everyone hate bumpers? I don't get it.
Please.
No, I was going to say maybe this is one for another time. Another time.
Sharp Object wins, mate. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charlie Sharp.
Charlie Sharp, who does have a share in
got
Sharp
a say
Object.
Got a say in matters there. So
Yeah. I wonder
we'll
how.
be cheering him on.
Do you think the name had anything to do with?
Yeah, I did ask the gentleman if it was a pun, but I think it's coincidental.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, maybe that was his nickname at school. I don't know.
Possibly.
But let's have a quick look at Sunday because we've got the other great. We've also got the Shloer Chase as well. John Bon is 4-7, Edwardstone 3-1, Nube Negra 7s, Editor Dejit at 14-1. John Bon versus Edwardstone again. Tom Segal.
Again? Have they run against each other before?
Oh, sorry. No, you're right. I don't know why I said that.
Don't recall that happening, mate.
Yeah.
Must have missed that one.
I'm not sure. What am I?
You're thinking about him in the celebration chase when he faced Captain Guinness, maybe. Edwardstone was Nube Negra have met in the past.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know.
And Editor de Guy.
Anyway, the bumper, Tom. You were saying.
I think you might be swapping seats next week, Robbie. You'll be in.
Hang on a sec, mate. So John Bon's a 4-7 chance. Edwardstone's 3-1. Nube Negra 7-1. And Editor de Guy is 14-1. Ross, what do you think is going to happen?
I'm trying to remember who am I thinking? Who am I thinking of then?
I don't know, mate. Let it go. It's done. It's fine.
Let it go, Ross.
No, it's gone.
You made a complete fool of yourself.
I'm getting old, mate. I'm getting old. Anyway, maybe I need a pint of Shloer to sort me out. Any opinions, Robbie?
Yeah, I do have a slight opinion.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Tell us. Oh, mate, just spat on yourself there.
Yeah, it's all going wrong. It's all going wrong. It's like
Right.
Shloer.
John Bon he's done it, and it's rare for a novice to come in their second season. They've already done it in open company, and I was slagging him off all season last year, and he proved me wrong in no uncertain terms at Sandown. Captain Guinness, probably before that, had come out and finished second in a champion chase. Grenadine, Sandown's his track, and he made them look pretty ordinary horses. So, just what he can do as a 7-year-old this season is quite an exciting prospect, I think. Okay. So I think he's probably the one to beat. One thing I will say is it's quite interesting that this is close enough to the Tingle Creek, isn't it? Would it be slightly unlike Nicky Henderson to run him so quickly after at Sandown? Because he's odds on for that. That could be an interesting anti-post race to look into. I don't know, I'm freestyling a bit, but I think
John are the anti-postman after all.
I am, yeah. I might have one for that actually in the Tingle Creek, but that's another time. So I think John Bon is a fair odds-on chance. If the ground dried out, Nube Negra, is he past it? Yes. I don't know. Probably, yeah. He won an awful run in last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
All right, John Bon.
There you go. I've talked you into it, with that nod of the head. Tom, any thoughts?
I think John Bon will win too. I love Edwardstone, but I think he's going to need to go further now. He's getting on a bit. It's interesting. Doing the anti-postman's job. He's in the King George now. I thought that might be an interesting spot for him. He got 3 miles. He'd be an interesting horse at Kempton. Nube Negra, just don't know. Editor Geek could easily run well. He often runs well at Cheltenham if the ground got really soft. But I think John Bon will win. It's a different class.
Okay, there we go. And a price boost, David?
Price boost is Jean Bon to win this race and come back here in March and win the Queen Mother Champion Chase is 7-1. The boys have said it is the most likely winner of this. Great that Nicky's running him ahead of the Tingle Creek. We bemoan the fact we don't see these stars often enough. And against Edwardstone, who at his very best, as we saw in the Tingle Creek, is top class. This is something to look forward to.
I hope he gets beaten and steps up in trip and goes to the Ryanair eventually, but that's just my own personal opinion. The Greatwood Hurdle then, again, Tom, you'll be getting stuck into this properly in the paper over the weekend, I'm sure. So what's on your shortlist so far? Obviously, I'm not going to tie you down to a selection, but very quickly.
No, you can tie me down all you like, Ross. Only matter of time. Only matter of time is way too short, isn't it? I have no idea what price he's going to start. You've been last year's one, didn't it? Went drifted like a barge. Can't remember the name of it for Paul Byrne. This is Willie Mullins, not Emmett Mullins. Looked okay. Won a nice bumper. Could be very well handicapped. Shouldn't really be getting in races like this. He's only rated 115 or something, isn't he? But could easily win. But he's a terrible price. Loader Sud, I do like. I'm a massive Skelton 2 mile handicap hurdle fan. And I think he'll run really well. I think he's probably a lot better than he's shown. Gin Coco was second last year. Lucia looked really good on plenty of times. Knickerbocker Glory. There's loads. A bit worried about the ground for Nemean Lion, but I thought at the moment, loads of sad, and I wouldn't rule out Sonagino running well for Freddie Gingell, claiming with his claim. I thought he was cantered all over them in the race at Chepstow, and then just looked either fitness or didn't quite get home. Paul Nicholls was going chasing with him, but he's sort of kept him back for another crack at a big race like this. Didn't run very well in the race last year, but I think he's a better horse now. So at the moment, Loader Sud and Sonagino would be the two I'd be looking at most closely.
Okay, Robbie, quick angle in. Did you put anything up? Or?
Yeah, I've put up Gin Coco a few weeks ago, and I put a look away as well. Gin Coco, he's obviously ran an excellent race in this lot. I like to move it as the only horse who beat him that day. He was 15 lengths clear of the third. He's a couple of pound higher now. He had a nice little warm-up prep for this. I imagine his season's revolved around it, certainly. He's only 7. And Look Away is just always been... I remember writing about him in the previous big jump-off as like a novice hurdle to follow after he won the Aintree bumper. The stable was just bang out of form last season. He was running, over the wrong trip. Didn't go to plan, but he's a second season novice now. He's back in form. He won the Grade 2 last time. He's up to 132. You'd have thought he's definitely better than that. So that'd be my 2 at the moment.
Okay, and I'll take the 2 from Foss last. I thought that looked like a good race. So Nemean Lion and any harm in asking, I think maybe might run big races. David, wrap up the show for us.
I like 2 Friendly here. He's been running well since he switched to James Owen, but ran well at Cheltenham when he was trained by Dan Skelton. Lily Pinchin takes off 3. He's around 16-1. I mentioned Dan Skelton always does well in these 2 mile handicap hurdles. Got a couple of leading fancies here. He is 9-2 from 7-2 to win this Greatwood.
Okay, thank you. Right, let's wrap up the show then with the naps of the weekend. Starting off with the man to my left, Robbie. What's the best bet?
Napola. Can we start off with you, mate? Sorry, I'm just trying to
You're trying to narrow it down?
Yeah, I've got 2 on my shortlist.
Okay, Judicial Law then it is for me in the 3 mile handicap hurdle. Probably running to the pipe horse, but he's the one for me. What about you, Tom?
Me?
Have you decided?
Sorry, no. All right, so sorry, Tom. I'll just do mine now, and then we'll come back to you. Not long till May in the Paddy Power Gold Cup 255 at Cheltenham. Tom, yours, please.
Very good, Robbie. You're getting good at this. See you, Ross. That has been nice knowing you. Tackerip Bay at Lingfield. Thought he'd run well.
Okay. Tackerip Bay it is. There you go. David.
And at Cheltenham, I thought Load of Stud maybe in the Greatwood tomorrow. I'm not sure what price it will be, but at the moment, he's the one that I'm looking at.
Okay. If he runs tomorrow, we will win because the others won't have started, will they? But David?
I am going for Burdett Road in the Triumph Hurdle Trial. First race at Cheltenham tomorrow.
Okay, there you go. Thank you very much, everybody. And we'll see you next week, and then the week after, and then the week after that, David. We're going to be seeing a lot of each other, aren't we?
Well, it's the jump season. People love this period. Every weekend there's good stuff to look forward to.
Okay, lovely stuff. And we'll see you next Friday night. Enjoy your weekend at Cheltenham, at home, whatever you're doing. We'll have a good time this weekend and see you every Friday night until Christmas. See you then.